Alright, I'm back. Sorry, sometimes there's a lag, so I have to restart the computer. Restarting the computer seems to fix it. It's just very annoying that it seems to happen every so often when it doesn't happen to any other creator for whatever reason. Alright, well hopefully it's good now. Alright, but yeah, the tube should be up. That should be good. We'll just, hopefully there's not a lag over here this time around. I don't know why it produces a lag randomly. There's really no reason as to why that's the case. Like, I will go live, a live will be fine. I'll end it. I won't touch anything. I'll go live again, and then there's a lag. The only thing that seems to fix it is restarting. Alright guys, sorry, I know it's kind of annoying when we get a live going for 5 or 10 minutes and I gotta restart, but it kind of is what it is. I froze where? TikTok always should be fine. There really shouldn't be any issues with lagging on TikTok. It's the other one I stream on that seems to get it. And I still haven't plugged in an Ethernet cord or anything like that yet, and I'm kind of avoiding doing that because I don't know. I don't really want to have to do it, but it is what it is. Yeah, I know TikTok's also having issues too, so I know that's part of it. But I know eventually I'm going to have to use an Ethernet cord in order to smoothly stream this one and the other. It's just, it's going to keep freezing otherwise. Hey, what's up?
Oops, sorry.
Hey, how old are you?
Yeah, sorry, I had to go in the other room.
You're good. You're good. How old are you?
23.
All right, what's up?
Yeah, I got a question. Like, when you break down gun violence, the vast majority of it happens in, like, majority black cities and neighborhoods, like the south side of Chicago. Like, why do you think that is?
That's not the topic.
Well, you asked me about the Second Amendment, so I assumed it was about gun violence, and, like, the vast majority of gun violence happens with young black adolescents. So, like, what's going on there?
I'm not going to have that conversation. You can bring up something else.
It's like the per capita murder rate.
I'm not going to have that
for young
conversation. We can talk about something else. So you can talk about something else. I'm not going to have that conversation. If you want to bring up something else, we can. You can unmute yourself. Just bring up a different topic. I'm not going to have that conversation.
What do you want to talk about? Like
whatever
science?
you want, just not that.
Why not? It's about the Second Amendment. I'm bringing
whatever
up,
you want, just not that.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I wasn't going to have that conversation. I know it's incorrect. I know the 1350 thing. I just didn't want to do that conversation because it's not my conversation to have if I don't have any representation up here, and I'm not trying to have that conversation. But you guys are welcome to talk about whatever. I mean, I think that's the first time somebody has come up and brought that up in a long time. That's not really a super common thing that they come on up for. Brett sort of has those lives. I don't know how much he would dive into that topic. I don't watch his lives enough to know if he would dive into that topic a little bit, but yeah. Maybe you should learn how to spell board first, and then we'll maybe have a conversation. Guys, you should get on board. BORED. Vital, you're welcome to come up though if you want. I don't think you're gonna be able to have a good conversation considering your spelling, but we'll try. I think you driving isn't an excuse for you not knowing how to spell board. I think you just don't know how to spell board. Yeah, guys, once again, come on up. You're getting requests. There's probably been like 8, 9, 10 requests sent so far, so just come on up. At present, not sure how much of that Brett is doing after the last 3 or so weeks. Yeah, I don't know if he's doing lives. I mean, I see him having posts on Instagram. I've seen that, but I don't know quite about if he's doing lives or anything. Well, look who we have. What's up, Erica? Isn't it your bedtime?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I fell asleep on the sofa when I got home from work, so I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, you'll work your way towards the bed, I'm sure. But yeah, I can try to. I was talking before. I can try to change my schedule a little bit to make that happen. I can do.
I don't want you to change anything for me.
No, I mean, people like to watch you. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how to make it work. It's just tough because it's just easier for me to go live in the morning and like early evening, at least during the week. The weekends, I have no problem doing whenever. It's during the week that makes it a little difficult. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I can always, like those days for sure work. I can make that work, almost no problem. But we'll see.
I don't know whether you saw, Doug, but someone called you a soy boy in the comments. That must be incredibly hurtful. Are you going to cry yourself to sleep tonight, Douglas?
Yes. All the hundreds of million times I've been called it, this one finally got to me.
Use a bunch of numbers. There are tons of liberals that have PPs for self-defense. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys think that like people on the left never had any at all. Alex illegally carrying? It wasn't illegal.
He wasn't illegally carrying.
Like, where do you guys make this shit up from? This guy is gonna come up. This conversation is gonna last 5 seconds. He never wants to have a real conversation. Watch, it's gonna last 10 seconds, maybe 5-10 seconds if he loads. Have you spoken with this guy before? History, whatever. History Hans.
Yeah.
He just never wants to have a real conversation.
I don't really remember him though. So.
He's not even loading. I mean, I'll bring up this other guy. But yeah, he just says dumb stuff, and that's really about it. Yeah, he just makes noises. That's almost it. Isaac, what's up?
How's it going?
It's good, man. How old are you?
Surviving, you know.
Your age, I meant. How old are you?
Oh, sorry, 28.
All right, what's up?
I was gonna say he was illegally carrying his firearm at the time of him being shot.
No, he wasn't.
By what?
Do you know the 2 things that you need by Minnesota state statute to have on you if you have a
He didn't have his
CCW?
ID on him. Oh, grow up.
ID or CCW card?
Grow up.
Is that not breaking the law?
I'm sorry.
Is the punishment for that unaliving?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
He was a licensed, and they had no idea that he wasn't carrying his ID. They had no idea whether or not he was a licensed concealed carrier.
Correct. They had no idea that he even had his weapon on him until he started fighting with them.
So this has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it.
It has everything to do with it.
It does not.
It has absolutely nothing
and
to do with it.
And as far as I'm aware, the penalty for that would not be unaliving. So unless you want to try and justify them unaliving him, the fact that he didn't have ID on him, which, by the way, if you're going to a protest, actually, good idea not to be carrying all your shit that you carry around every single day. Just grow up.
So are you done?
Well, I just don't see how that
No, I
justifies
can carry on
anything.
if you like.
I'm not justifying him being shot. I don't think anyone deserved to be shot because that's a very unfortunate situation for anyone.
It's not unfortunate. Makes it
like
seems like it was an accident. Like, unfortunate is
No.
when, like, you happen to get in a car accident when it's just a freak thing that happens. This isn't unfortunate. This was something done by ICE agents when it easily could have not happened.
Could I just, as you would explain it like that, could I not say that he could have not implemented himself and interjected himself into that situation
Could he
with
not have
an
tried
illegal
to
firearm
help-
on him?
Could his
Sorry,
mom
could he
haven't
not
had
have
an
tried to help
abortion
a
and it
woman
wouldn't have
out?
happened? Like, dude, you can keep going back and say, like, his mom couldn't have had an abortion, maybe.
Yes,
It
but my
wouldn't have
purely
happened.
point I'm trying to make
It's,
is
like,
that he was by law illegally carrying. Was he not? Can you not concede to that?
Oh, sorry. Kyle Rittenhouse, was he by law illegally carrying?
By law, he was legally carrying in the
No,
state of
he was,
Wisconsin.
he was actually illegally carrying
He was
because
not.
he
Do you know
was,
Wisconsin
because-
state law?
Because he wasn't from Wisconsin.
Correct.
He transported his weapon across state lines, which is illegal. So he was
It's not illegal to transport weapons across state lines.
He was illegally carrying.
But what law is that?
Give me a sec.
Okay. Because I can tell you I was born in Wisconsin. So I know for a fact you are allowed to open carry long rifles, even under the age of 18 in Wisconsin.
Let's see.
Since then, I believe they amended the law in terms of, because they seen it as a loophole when that shooting occurred. Or I don't even know if I'm able to use that word on TikTok, but
I mean, there was an initial charge related to illegal possession of a firearm by a minor.
yeah, but it was dropped. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. In both situations, it just shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean?
All right, but you're
But I'm
putting the
just going
blame. But
by
you're
the
putting
law.
the blame on the guy for some reason, on Alex, when like clearly it wasn't his fault.
No, I'm just trying to. How am I supposed to explain this? Look at it from a way of, say, this goes to court, right? Imagine you go to court and the prosecutor's going to be like, oh, well, at the time, so-and-so was illegally carrying his firearm. So that shows ill intent, especially since he came to a protest and did what he did. You know what I mean?
What would the ill intent be?
Well, the fact is, he did have a permit to be able to CCW.
No,
Just like
no,
you said, I agree with you.
I asked what the ill intent would be.
The ill intent will be so-and-so carried legally for his entire life having the CCW. And he decided just that one day
You don't know.
to not
that.
have any of his
Hang
information.
on. Can you okay? So I'm the lawyer opposite you in court. Prove that it was just that one day that he didn't carry it.
They don't need to prove it. They just need to prove that it was that day he
No,
decided to
no,
carry
no,
it legally.
Wait. Also,
That's
I think we're forgetting the fact that even though he wasn't carrying the permit, the officers weren't looking for his permit.
Did he
They
have a
just
chance to
grabbed
show
the
it to
gun
him?
out of. They just grabbed it out of his. They just grabbed the pew pew out of his belt. He wasn't being looked for a permit, and Alex didn't even say anything that he was carrying. They were scouring through his person without a warrant. And without any reasonable suspicion, Alex was just defending a woman who was getting pepper sprayed and filming, which is his First Amendment right.
To be honest, the thing that I ultimately think led to his death was the gun itself, because it ended
No. The ICE agents searched him without a warrant and without reasonable suspicion.
Well, when you're being detained, that's going to happen.
But he
But
wasn't
I'm
being
trying to
detained.
make a point for you guys.
But he wasn't being
okay?
detained. He was defending a woman.
Well, they're going to skew it as he was assaulting a federal agent. So,
But he wasn't.
did he touch the federal agent?
No, he wasn't. He was filming the federal agents. He was filming the federal agent, and he was defending the woman by stepping in front of the federal agent who was pepper spraying somebody who was peacefully protesting. Or actually, it wasn't even peacefully protesting. I'm pretty sure the ICE agent was just pushing this woman.
Yeah.
It wasn't even
Actually,
a-
it wasn't a protest. Yeah,
It wasn't even a
No, he
protest.
double- he
Yeah, it
double-
Yeah, it
wasn't.
wasn't even a protest.
It wasn't technically. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even technically a protest. So not only was it not a high, like, it wasn't a high ticket situation where we're talking about a protest where the officers are on high alert. This was just a regular everyday encounter, and people were filming these ICE agents, which is under their First Amendment right. And when Alex decided to step in front of a woman getting pepper sprayed, the officers decided to search him, which was not under, they did not have reasonable suspicion that he was carrying a weapon. They did not have reasonable suspicion he was committing a crime. They had no reasonable suspicion to search him forcibly and then pew-pew him in the back after disarming him. So no, they had no right to search him.
Can I point out as well, someone in the comments said obstruction. It's not obstruction because the ICE agents, the law regarding obstruction with ICE agents is them performing their duty in order to, like, get someone to deport them. Their duty is not to police the general populace. So it's not obstruction.
But they're able to.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what happens to don't tread on me?
No,
What
hang
happens
on,
to the don't
hang
tread
on,
on me?
hang
Still
on,
exists.
scientific.
Hold
Hang
on, let Erica go
scientific.
real quick.
They're only able to do that if the person is obstructing them from an investigation. And nobody there was instructing them from an investigation. They didn't like that they were being filmed. The woman wasn't getting in between them and somebody that they were trying to arrest. So it wasn't obstruction of their duty. They didn't like that they were being filmed. So they went over to her, double arm pushed her. He then got in the way. They weren't trying to grab that woman because she was an illegal migrant or to deport her. So no, that's a misnomer. It isn't obstruction because that is not part of their duty. They are not able to police the populace unless that member of the populace is obstructing them from performing their duty, which is customs and what
Border protection.
customs, border protection, and that's not what they were doing. So it isn't obstruction. If,
Well, they're
in
going to
fact-
say that it was
I don't
obstruction
care-
because they
I
were
don't
clearing the
care-
roadway.
I don't care what they're going to
It's okay.
say.
I understand you don't care.
No, but it would be false, and you making that argument on their behalf is disingenuous on your part because you know that's not true.
Wait, I just have a question. If the government decided to say that if you don't get a vaccine, then we'll put you in jail, and they really harshly enforce this, out of curiosity, are you going to go against getting that vaccine, or are you going to just comply?
No, I absolutely complied. I had to live through that actually when I was in the military.
Well, everybody in the military had. That wasn't a new thing for military members.
Yeah, that's not a new thing for the military. That's not a new
No,
thing.
during the COVID, absolutely. They were like, either you get this vaccination or
But-
we're kicking you out.
But that's the case
But
for
that's
any.
not going to jail.
But that's the case for any shots, though. Like, for example, when you go to
Yeah.
basic training, your first or second day, you get shots. If you decide not to do that, you'll get kicked out.
No, I'm saying the COVID vaccine.
What I'm saying is, you get vaccines your first or second day in basic training. And if
Yeah,
you-
those are normal vaccines. That's
There's nothing
Hang
described
on,
as normal.
don't-
But when you sign the contract, though, you agree to any vaccines that may, or any stuff that they may deem necessary for you to get from there on out.
Yeah, so this is not actually, that's like a horrible example because you were in the military, so it's you already signed the contract. You basically signed that anyways. Either ways. Let's see, what's a good example that would be a good analogy? Erica, do you have anything?
A good analogy to comply or I don't know. I think-
Comply or don't comply. Like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy where,
when
like,
you guys are asking for COVID cards to go into businesses.
No, because they're private businesses. They can private.
yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Can do whatever they want. The same as this platform is allowed to tell you what you are and aren't allowed to say on it, even though you have a First Amendment right. Because the First Amendment only protects you against the government. It doesn't protect you against private entities.
Tino, thanks for the 5 on the blue at the start. Yeah, no, W Tino.
Bless you.
It says just comply and you won't get hurt. Isn't what you say in a free country. It's what you say to a hostage. Very much agree with you, Tino. Thank you so much, man. W Tino in the comments, guys.
Yeah, so I think I think I just came up with a good analogy. Let's say that the okay, let's flip the script. Let's say that it was a leftist government, and they made a law against saying anything that was blank phobic. And if you said anything that was blank phobic, then you would get put in jail. And so, would you actively comply with this? Would you be okay with it? Would you not protest it? And let's say the individuals that were enforcing this, they were enforcing it on people who weren't saying things that were blank phobic. They were enforcing it on everyone. Would you not film it?
Was that asking me?
Yeah.
If that's a country that I live in and I'm born into, then obviously it's the law. You have to follow the law in the country that you live in. If you don't want to follow the law,
you're not for free speech.
And actually,
I'm not
you
for
have
free
to
speech.
follow.
Absolutely.
Hang on, you have to follow the law in any country that you're in, whether
Correct.
you were born in it or not. But the point is, the law says that you're allowed to film people. The law says that it's part of your First Amendment right, not only to film people, but also to protest. The law also says that ICE have a very restricted kind of purview as far as their powers to detain or arrest citizens. There is a very limited purview. So you saying follow the law in the country you're in. Well, ICE weren't following the law in the country you're in because they do not have the purview to detain a citizen for just filming them unless they are obstructing an active investigation. And ICE do not have the purview to search somebody without a warrant, particularly if that person is not impeding them in their investigation. So the people who are, why is it that you are holding citizens to a different standard than the standard to which you are holding ICE?
That was beautiful, Erica.
Keep tapping and sharing, guys. We are
Absolutely.
looking for opposition, by the way. So if you guys are opposition, hit the request button. We don't have anybody in the request box at the moment, but if we do get someone to come on up, we can switch on over.
Like I was gonna say though, honestly, I feel like the reason he lost his life was because of his own firearm. Not that it was his fault.
You're not gonna respond to a single thing she said? So out of curiosity, if Russia or China decided to invade the US and they took over and they started breaking all of our previous laws from the Constitution, what would you do?
Would
you just say
happen.
comply?
That's like the most outlandish hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical. So you can answer with, would you comply or would you not comply?
You have to comply with whatever laws in the government that you live in.
You don't care if a tyrannical government decides to invade. There.
Well,
done.
Well, you have to comply.
So you're for anarchy? Whatever you feel is what needs to be the law.
We're supporting the Constitution.
Yes, so do I.
No, you don't.
Does the Constitution not
because the citizen, right? First of all, the citizens have rights under the Constitution, and you are not. Where in your conversation, although I suspect that when you go elsewhere, you will speak completely differently about people's constitutional rights, but you are not upholding in what you are saying the constitutional rights of citizens. You are putting the rights of ICE officers above the rights of citizens, or the powers of ICE officers, and you are giving them powers that per the Constitution and per the law in the United States they do not have.
So they're not able to detain people, is what you're saying?
Only if
they're obstructing.
Is obstructing an
active So what would you call an individual standing in front of a car in a roadway? Obstructive or non-obstructive?
No, that's not obstructing an investigation.
That's not obstructive?
No, it's not
because people can drive
Interesting.
around her.
Hang on. It's
not when he purposely goes out of his way to go there.
Yeah, it's not obstructing, and in that he wasn't instructing an investigation. In fact, if you watch the videos for 5 or 10 minutes before that occurred, different people's videos, what he's actually doing is he's directing traffic so that it can continue to travel freely. He's actually helping.
So you're saying he was standing in the roadway?
It doesn't matter.
Is he a traffic officer?
I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Right, ICE.
No one can just stand in the street and direct traffic. That's not legal.
Including ICE. Including ICE.
ICE is a
because
law
that not
enforcement
their-
agency,
it doesn't-
federal
no,
at that.